Hello and welcome back to the E.G.C, the Erudite Games and Comics. And today, as I said in my previous video, I actually read all of G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. That is including their 28 special missions, the 4 yearbooks, the 4 silent options, the Cobra Prelude, the four order of battles, even though they're just cards of or a lot of the characters. And I do have Operation Hiss, so I do have that one to read. And I did pick up, I don't have, right here, the feature noir, which I didn't hear nothing good about it, but I still want to have my own opinion about it. I'll probably do a separate video just for this one. But today, I just want to talk about my full thoughts of the entire A Real American Hero. Uh, I want to break them down by their publishers, Marvel, then the IDW print, and then the Skybound print. Now, for the IDW, I am only going to be talking about the Real American Hero, so just the canon continuity. All right, so we can start with this, the Marvel. So, my full opinion of Marvel. No, we'll do. Yeah, actually, yeah. No, my full opinion of Marvel run for the 155 and the 28 special missions. Absolutely loved it. I loved how the characters were brought in. I love how Duke, Roadblock, Quick Kick, Stalker, Gun Ho, Leatherneck. I mean, the list literally goes on. Every character's Lady J, Bomb Strike, obviously Scarlet, she was in the beginning, Baroness, Destro. I even love the enemies, Wall Weasel, Scrap Iron, obviously Cobra himself. Then we have Zartan and the Dreadnoughts. Everyone's play in the Marvel's posting of the original run, including the 28 special missions, was honestly to me pure amazing because how they like would bring them in, and then yes, they will keep them towards their MOS, but they will also do GI Joe spec ops and like all these night raids or certain things like how they were in Bazine, which is I believe a made up country in the Middle East. The whole snow stuff with Snow Job, what was it, Iceberg, and then like the couple others. Quinnen how he keeps being played into, like, even though we lost him early, but he is like very or he's very important because he helped take out Doctor Venom, even though he didn't want to take him out because of anger and all that. He ended up still taking him out. Dr. Mindbender's intro, everybody's part was good. Like Cobra plays the crazy terrorist guy who just like wants to take over everything and destroy everything. Destro plays the very smart strategic leader, but he leaves Cobra because everyone keeps backstabbing each other in the Cobra team. And then all the Joes with the first pit, the second pit, the third pit, the fourth pit, the fifth pit. So I mean, it is good. It to me is good. I love the stories, the solo stories that everyone gets. Snake Eyes gets multiple solo stories, and then you had like in like the special missions when Stalker, Quick Kick, I believe it was Rock and Roll, and I think the other one was Tunnel Rat when they got captured in oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It was oh my god, I cannot remember the name. um but when they got captured by it was the one with the white lady, the white clown and the lady, and they had that whole issues, multiple issues. It's really really good. I honestly love the whole Battle Force 2000, even though we lost all but one. When Doc lost his life and everyone else during the whole battle, Invisine with the mortar rounds, and I think that was Scrap Iron who took out the other ones. And oh, man, it was really done really well. Now, the IDW, it started out really strong. I loved it for the beginning part. I mean, we lost Billy, which was almost as heartbreaking as losing all the 13 Joes in, like, I think it was like issue like 101 to like 113. Uh, so I mean that was extremely sad. Then we lose Snake Eyes, but then we got Sean, which is Wade's adopted son from the whole Marvel part. Which I love how they was bringing the people from Marvel back into the IDW. But then after Wade becomes Snake Eyes number two, or Throwdown, uh, we kind we kind of this is where I started to have like issues because we brought in Dawn Marino, which her intro was fine and all. She was badass person for uh but under Cobra stuff, and then they wanted to take the brainwave scanner, which I also love. The brainwave scanner just keeps coming back. It is a very good play, but they used the brainwave scanner to change, like to put, like, to make her like Cobra, only have Cobra. But when the and Baroness and Zartan accidentally put Snake Eyes memories into there, and now she's like bipolar because she has all these Snake Eyes memories, and then she has her own, so she's like freaking out and going, and then she's like running off, and the Joes end up picking her up. This is a starter right when I was like, okay, I like this, but I hope that Dawn wasn't going to be like a Throwdown replacement because we have female Snake Eyes, which is good, and then we have Throwdown. But Throwdown started to get less scenes. Storm Shadow was like super apparent in the Marvels run, and the IDW after Billy died, Storm Shadow like disappeared. They kept throwing everyone, all the ninjas, at this new character, this Granny, the Demon Granny, and they keep having her like teach Dawn. And I thought that was a huge miss. Like Storm Shadow should have been the one to train Dawn because it would have made more sense because we had constant history of Tommy and Snake Eyes always with the past with their Vietnam incident where how Snake Eyes, almost died, and Tommy went to go save him. Then Snake Eyes lost everything, and Tommy brought him to his ninja stuff, and then all that stuff that happened. You would imagine that Storm Shadow would be the one to train Dawn. That would make the most sense because he would have the most connection towards her memories and would help her get it under control. But so I thought that was a very huge miss. But right after the whole Dawn stuff, we get Helix, the whole the silent options. We get Helix, oh, Helix over here, and silent options, and she starts out like a character I would love to get into. And, she's like, oh, she's been spec ops and was trained from the bottom to the ground up. And I'm like, okay, cool. This sounds like, Miss Splinter Cell badass over here. I'm like, I can really get behind her. They don't really do anything with her. They just have this silent option, and then like for the rest of the IDW run, she was always like Don Marino's shadow. Now, there was stuff I really did like I like Serpentor's comeback, and then that's how we end up losing Snake Eyes. But then we get Serpentor Khan, which was really cool. We get Mutt and Junkyard in the early beginnings. We got a lot of Shockwave too, which was good because I love Shockwave in the earlier ones. But uh, when it then because after we go back to like where Helix and Dawn is, so I'm like, okay, so maybe we'll get more of a Helix thing because I'm thinking Helix is doing like solo spec ops, like they're having her run off and like doing missions on her own. And I was like, that would be cool. They never did. But then, because they instantly brought in God, Sherlock, which was a new person, which I'm like, okay, so now we have another person. This is another big thing. I think that the IDW publishing was more like focus on the characters that we created, less on, Beachhead, Shipwreck, Cutter, Deep Six. I mean, Cutter, Deep Six, and Shipwreck, that had they had a few issues, but it wasn't too much. We didn't really get the flag too much. Ace was in there. Ghost Rider, or the guy we can never remember the name, was more apparent in the Marvel run, which it was just so much. Like I feel like there was a lot of missed opportunities, but like with Sherlock in particular, it was like really focused on Sherlock for some reason, for like 6 issues straight. And with Sherlock being the way that she is, like, because she's an investigative, uh, she's a 31 Delta, which is like, I think they calling it like investigative, so she does like a lot of crime investigation. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. We, but where they stuck her in the pit in Utah. But I was like, that doesn't really make sense because Law and Order's there to do that, to do the police stuff there. I was like, it would make more sense to put her in the Wadsworth one with a bulletproof cutter, mutton junkyard, and shockwave, and throw her on the team of the drug elimination force. That because we did not. I don't remember seeing bulletproof or anyone from the DEF really doing anything. So I thought that was like sad. Like, yes, I know I said we had shockwave earlier, but there was like no focus on the DEF. So I was like, that was a little weird and probably like a bad miss. They really could have made a lot of stories based on that. Uh, and when IDW stuff, when it compares to like the art, like Marvel stuff, I absolutely love. IDW was okay. So I mean, we still got very good stories, especially the last few issues, the one with Serpentor Khan himself. And I was like, okay, it was starting to get really good. And then Skybound picks up with Serpentor Khan, and I thought that was really amazing. Serpentor Khan's artwork, the whole Chris Mooningham, which I believe is the one that did the art for the whole Serpentor Khan stuff, and Destro, which was really good. But actually, I actually was getting too far ahead of myself. In the IDW, Destro, I really loved. I loved Destro in Marvel. Destro was ended up being one of my favorite villains of GI Joe entirely. Uh, in the Marvel, we had the Blind Master, and that which was a Firefly, and Wild Weasel was really apparent. With IDW, they kind of threw Firefly's old uniform back on, which was fine, but I kind of did like his new one. I like what they were trying to do with him, like, oh, now you have another new enemy to deal with. And but in IDW, he was there, he had his moments, and it was more of like, oh, Don's in there, and Zartan tackles him, and that was really it for Firefly. Firefly didn't really do much in IDW to me. But in the Skybound stuff, which is it's only at 26 issues in, so I don't really have that high of an opinion. I think it looks great, and I think it's going really well for as it is right now. But there was an issue I had in Skybound, but right now we'll talk about the good because Dawn was a lot cooler in Skybound. I think Dawn Marino was a lot cooler, but then we get Snake Eyes back because we did get Snake Eyes back at the end or towards the end of IDW, but now we have Snake Eyes who can talk, has his face back. We have Don Marino. We have Jinx. Jinx is more apparent in Skybound as well. Uh, and then Storm Shadow, but kind of like Storm Shadow, Throwdown, which was my big issue, is kind of forgotten. Like now he's there, and they have they were in like, or no, well, they was in Springfield for undercover stuff, but they ended up getting caught, which was I thought was very badly done because how they get caught was Don messes up and the guy takes off the wig of Don, and I'm like, okay, I was like, you're supposed to be a ninja, you grab him, knock him out, but Throwdown knocks him out, and they think they're good. They don't even tie him up, and which I mean I got it. They just like, okay, well, we don't want to tie up this kid and like, and then we'll be on a real big situation. But he goes right past all the ninjas and runs out. And I'm like, how do you get past Scarlet, uh, Snake Eyes, Dawn, and then, or well, I guess Storm Shadow and Dawn were gone. They were doing like ninja stuff in another place, having a whole nother fight. Then with the whole Serpentor Khan's remnants and Cobra units that were there. But I mean, still, you got past all those ninjas, and now he just made a whole situation like three times worse. And I was like, how did a kid just sneak past all y'all? I was like, that was very bad. Um, but Skybound is still good, and I guess my last problem I had was yet again Sherlock, because that entire issue, well, I guess it wasn't really Sherlock, it was really the issue itself. They went back to the Bazine, which I thought was cool. I was like, cool, we're going back here. But what what the whole purpose of that mission was to save a political activist. So I was like, well, okay, that's fine. But then the person is not even American. So I was like, okay, why are they doing it? Shouldn't they have their whole emirate people have their people to save her? I was like, I don't understand why we're doing it. But I mean, there was that, and I felt like they just added that. I guess that 15-year-old kid that was a player. I don't know. They didn't really like delve into this character's backstory. It's just like, hey, like this character, and so I'm like, okay. But then we bring in two more characters. Uh, Downrange, which is their second sniper next to Lowlight, and RC, which is their UAV drone specialist. Why? No, I guess not UAV drones, but he's a drone specialist in general because he decodes drones and all that. But he didn't really do much in his appearance, and or downrange. I mean, she did a sniper battle, which was good, which that was good. But my issue with what they have done with Helix, downrange and Dawn, they like kind of overglazed them. If that kind of makes sense, because it's like every issue is like, oh, Duke or Roadblock or Stalker or Rock and Roll. They will always like praise them every time they do something. It's like, oh man, we couldn't do this without you. I was like, I mean, Snake Eyes in the Marvel run just took on 50 elite Cobra troopers by himself. Where was his praise? I was like, that was badass. I mean, what these people did, it was just normal stuff. So I thought that was weird. I don't really like the overglaze of new characters because I want my old characters. You could might be like, oh well, you just want to see all the other older characters. But I mean like Clutch. Well, I mean we lost Breaker. I was about to say Breaker. We did get Airborne a few in IDW. Uh, like I said, Skybound's still 26 issues in, so I mean, not having Airborne or Airtight or a Budo show up and do something real crazy right away, that's fine because you still got to build up more stuff. But I did like the Red Lance or the Blue Ninjas that IDW brought in. I thought their stories were pretty cool. I think the other person that they brought in was the Major Black, which no, because Marvel brought him in because that was the whole point of the drug elimination force. They was already like going after him, and now they threw him into IDW, or well, they brought that Major Black into IDW, and he doesn't really do nothing about the drug stuff, which is fine. And had him make his own, I guess, giant robot transformers because the whole Serpentor part, which I mean what it was Jane and the original Joe guy. Joe, yeah, it was just Joe. Jane and Joe. with that whole situation and the space laser, because the space laser is pretty cool. I mean, it's a space laser. Uh, but yeah, I would say if I was to give a rating for each publisher, it was like the Marvels run 10 out of 10 because they really fleshed out characters, had really good stories for all of them. Artwork was just downright amazing, and I love the whole comic oversized rock and roll and oversized roadblock holding the Medusa and the two giant automatic guns that rock and roll usually has. I mean, that was super cool. I loved it all about it. I was behind the stories. I love the special missions because you got to see characters that were doing something else, like all the way over here in the snow missions, or there you got Dusty and Muskrat doing something over here in the desert, and and then we had the whole sneak peek stuff. It was so good. IDW. Oh, so I'm sorry. I'll give Marvel like a straight 10 out of 10. The Marvels publicly, I thought it was like you probably honestly couldn't do any better. I thought Larry Hama's work was the absolute best right then and there. So great. The IDW run, I give it a 6 out of 10. It had some really good parts that I went over. Snake Eyes, Serpentor Khan. Uh, I like Dawn's appearance, but I mean, Helix they did nothing with, and Sherlock felt like a character that they wanted to add, and for us to automatically like as much as Clutch or Flint or Lady J or Bomb Strike. And I'm just not all for of the over glaze or overusing of a character, because I really think that Sherlock would be better in Wadsworth with the DEF, with bulletproof cutters, shockwave, mutton junkyard. Because you could really expand her story. So huge miss. Yeah, 6 out of 10 for IDW. Wasn't too happy for it. The So far with the Skybound stuff, I really like. I do like, even though the whole Bazine activist thing was just a weird issue. I just didn't understand it. I do like how they were. I like how they used Dawn, and Helix is doing more in Skybound, but I just really wish they would give her solo mission because I think she really deserves one. I would love a more fleshed out story from her, or for her, I should say, because I mean, Helix is like a gold mine that they're sitting on, and I think they're just wasting away. I love what they have done with Destro the entire time. Marvel's run, IDWs, and Skybound. I mean, Skybound, he's that guy. I mean, he took on Serpentor Khan and just beat the crap out of Cobra Commander. He was like, I am tired. You shot my lady. This war's over. So really, really good. Zartan and Dreadnoughts. Now Zartan had a very strong role in Marvel. Uh, he had a decent role in IDW. He always shows up every now and then. So I like this character, and I like what they're doing with them. So I mean, for most part of most of the characters, I really like. But to Skybound, this 26 issues. I mean, for the 26 issues, a solid 9 out of 10. Yeah, I think there's nothing wrong. I actually like the characters. I do like downrange. I kind of hope they do a low light downrange duo issue. That would be cool. A double sniper issue. Yeah, I can definitely get behind that. Maybe a Helix and an RC issue. They should honestly bring back special missions because I think that's really helped out flesh out a lot of characters and the skill sets that they have and can do. But the Skybound, yeah, 9 out of 10. IDW, unfortunately, is 6 out of 10. And Marvel is a perfect run, 10 out of 10. The entire thing from 1 to 326, including the special missions, I think is an 8 out of 10. But I am extremely curious about everyone's opinion on the on all of GI Joe. I want to know your opinions on the Marvel run. I want to know your opinions on IDW, on Skybound. If is your opinions like mine, similar? You think some characters were overused like I did, or not used enough? Let me know. Definitely down in the comments. But I think, but I will definitely keep up with the GI Joe stuff. I have no problem with every characters. I just think that some characters should just be used better. But like I said, it's still early, maybe, and I mean for the most part, I think IDW just played too much of a hand in it. So I think Skybound, what they're doing with all their characters is good. I do want to see Sherlock more. I want to actually see Bulletproof. I don't think we saw him at all in IDW. I, I think I'm trying to think if anyone else wasn't really used. I'm pretty sure there is. Oh, I forgot to talk about lift ticket, wall bill, because I swear they had an attack helicopter in Marvel. I don't. We need a attack helicopters. That's what the Joes need. That's what they really need again. Because right now all we see is the Tomahawk, the C-130, the Sky Striker, the Stealth Pilot. We don't really get the X-30 with oh my gosh, what is the X-30 pilot? See, we barely use him, and I forgot his name. But I'm really looking forward for more Skybound issues. I even thought 326 was actually really good. So, good recommend. The entire run, 8 out of 10. IDW really dropped the ball for me, but that's unfortunate. But like I said, I do want to hear everyone's thoughts about all of G.I. Joe. And everyone have a good one, and yo, Joe.